The rumor started on a Monday. It was like a tiny snowball rolling down a hill. At first no one really noticed. Then, it got bigger and bigger. By lunchtime the snowball was the size of a car.
The rumor was about a secret note, a love note. And it was for Dahlia. She's one of the most popular kids in school. Everyone wanted to know who wrote it. The whispers were everywhere. In the halls, in the cafeteria, even the teachers were talking about it. The note was a poem, they said. A really good one. It was like something out of a movie. I heard about it from my best friend Jada. She ran up to me by my locker. Her eyes were wide. She said, "Jay Blanco, you will not believe this. I was just trying to remember my locker combination. I'm not great with numbers, or words, or well, most things."
Someone left a poem for Dahlia. It was super romantic. I'd say it was epic and legendary.
I just nodded. I was still trying to figure out if my locker code was 241236 or 243612. School is hard enough without secret poems. Dahlia was in the middle of it all. But she didn't seem to mind. She was walking through the halls like she was a movie star on a red carpet. Every time someone whispered her name, she would just smile. It was a small, secret smile, like she knew something nobody else did. She was probably loving the attention. If someone left a secret note for me, I'd probably hide in the janitor's closet until graduation. But Dahlia is different. She's cool and confident. She probably practices smiling in the mirror. I practice looking invisible.
The note itself was the real mystery. No one had actually seen it, but everyone knew what it said, or they thought they knew. Some said it compared her eyes to stars. Others said it was about her laugh sounding like music. The details kept changing. It was like a game of telephone, but with poetry. The more people talked, the more amazing the poem sounded. It was becoming a legend, a legendary love poem for the most popular girl in school. And the whole school was obsessed with finding out who the secret poet was. It was the biggest news since the cafeteria accidentally served green mashed potatoes.
I finally got my locker open. Then Jada showed me a picture of the poem on her phone. Some kid had found it near Dahlia's locker and taken a picture before it disappeared. My heart stopped. I felt all the blood drain from my face. I recognized the handwriting. It was messy. It was mine. I recognized the words. They were clumsy. They were also mine. It was the rough draft of a poem I wrote. I was just practicing, trying to be smooth. I never, ever, ever wanted anyone to see it, especially not the entire school. This was a disaster, a full-on red alert, code red catastrophe. The poem was terrible. It had words crossed out. It had doodles in the margins. I compared Dahlia's hair to spaghetti. I don't know why. I was hungry when I wrote it, I guess. In my head, I thought it sounded cool and funny. Now, reading it on Jada's phone, I realized it was just weird. Why would anyone compare hair to spaghetti? And now, the whole school thought this masterpiece of weirdness was a serious declaration of love. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. I had to get the note back, but it was already gone. It was out there, somewhere. A digital ghost haunting the school's social media. The rumor said Dahlia had it, but who gave it to her? I didn't. I threw that draft in the recycling bin last week, or I thought I did. Maybe I dropped it. My life is a series of clumsy moments, dropping my books, tripping over my own feet, and now, dropping a poem that could ruin my life. I started to sweat. My brain was going a million miles an hour trying to figure out a plan. My biggest fear was Dahlia thinking I was her secret admirer. I mean, I am, but I wasn't ready for her to know. Not like this, not with the spaghetti poem. This was my private, top secret project. My plan was to write a good poem and then maybe, just maybe, work up the courage to give it to her. This draft was just practice. It was like showing someone the lumpy, burnt pancake you made before you figured out how to use the stove. I had to fix this, but how do you stop a rumor that's already the biggest thing to ever happen here?
Jada, being Jada, immediately went into detective mode. She loves a good mystery more than anyone I know.
Operation Find the Poet is officially underway.
I tried to tell her it was a bad idea, that we should just let it go. But she wasn't listening. She was already making a list of suspects. She wrote down the names of all the boys who were known to stare at Dahlia in class. My name was probably at the top of that list, which made me even more nervous. Her first move was to interrogate people. She started with the kid who took the photo. He said he just found the paper on the floor. He swore he didn't know who wrote it.
The truth will set you free.
The kid just looked confused. Jada was having the time of her life. I was just trying not to throw up. Every person she talked to just made the story bigger and more complicated. The rumor was growing legs and arms, and it was running straight for me.
Meanwhile, Dahlia was holding court by her locker. A crowd of her friends had gathered around her. They were all asking her questions.
Do you know who it is? Is it romantic?
Dahlia just shrugged, but she was smiling that secret smile again. She seemed to be enjoying the mystery. She didn't look confused or upset. She looked happy, like she had just won the lottery. This was the opposite of what I expected. I thought she would be weirded out by a spaghetti poem, but maybe the rumor version of the poem was better than the real thing.
I watched from a distance, hiding behind a water fountain. Jada was still on the case, pointing her pen at people and asking tough questions. Dahlia was laughing with her friends, and I was stuck. I was the secret poet, the mastermind behind this whole mess. But I was also the biggest coward in the history of the world. Admitting the truth seemed impossible. It would be social suicide. But letting Jada continue her investigation was also dangerous. She was getting closer to the truth with every question. I was trapped. There was no easy way out of this. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, they did.
The afternoon announcements came on. Usually it's just Principal Combo Panda talking about bake sales or lost lunchboxes. But not today. Today, his voice boomed over the intercom with extra excitement.
Students, we have a little bit of school drama today and I love it.
You could hear the grin in his voice. Principal Combo Panda doesn't just run the school, he thinks he's the star of a reality show set in it. And today's episode was a big one.
A little birdie dropped a very special piece of poetry on my desk. It seems we have a secret romantic in our midst.
My blood turned to ice. No, he wouldn't. He couldn't.
But he did. He cleared his throat dramatically.
It's addressed to the lovely Dahlia, and it goes a little something like this.
Then he started reading my poem, my terrible, awful spaghetti hair poem. He read it with so much emotion, he paused in all the wrong places. When he got to the spaghetti line, he actually cheered. The whole school was listening.
I wanted to disappear.
The laughter started immediately. It echoed through the halls. It wasn't just a few kids giggling. It was everyone. They weren't laughing because it was romantic. They were laughing because it was ridiculous. My worst nightmare was coming true. Broadcast live to every single person I knew. I could hear people shouting spaghetti hair from other classrooms.
Dahlia's happy, mysterious smile probably vanished. Now she was just the girl with pasta for hair, and I was the idiot who wrote it. My reputation was ruined. My social life was over. I knew right then that I couldn't hide anymore. The secret was out, even if my name wasn't attached to it yet. But it would be soon. Jada's investigation would lead her to me, or someone would recognize my messy handwriting. Hiding would only make it worse. I had to do something. I had to take control of the story. I needed to face everyone and explain. It was terrifying, but it was the only way. I had to write a new note, a better one, a rhyming note, and this time, I would deliver it myself. The legend of the Riz was about to get a whole new chapter.